So I hope you're all sitting comfortably. Hello Facebook, hello YouTube, how is everybody? It's a bright sunny morning down here in the West Country in the southwest of England. Blue skies, very cold. Did you see my posts on Instagram at the weekend? We were building snowmen. The roads are treacherous. Luckily, I don't have to go anywhere because lots of black ice. So if you are out and about, do take care. But yeah, thank you for all your comments. Hi, so nice to have everybody with us. Now, today I am back in my bedroom for a little bit of boudoir beauty. And I've got two really special guests, so it's going to be fun. So I hope you're sitting comfortably. You've got a nice cup of tea or something on the go, or maybe a glass of water, like what I said earlier. Like what I said, stay hydrated. So we're going to start with a bit of amazing facial massage and kind of face sculpting, which I tell you I so need. Oh my goodness. I looked at that little video I put on Instagram this morning. First thing, I filmed it just in my leggings, and I thought, ooh, yeah, those lockdown pounds around the middle. Got to do something about that. Not good. Anyway, never mind. We're all friends, so it doesn't matter too much, does it? And they'll come off, won't they? This is the thing. Let's stop beating ourselves up about it. You know, yes, we've put the lockdown pounds on. Yes, we can get them off again. So it's just going to take a little bit of motivation, a little bit of focus. And that's what my 5 minutes are going to be all about. I was just saying to our friends actually on Instagram, if you Facebookers missed it, that I'm starting something on Instagram this week called My 5 Minutes. And I'm going to be posting first thing every morning. Well, first thing for me, you know, having got the kids homeschooling and everything sorted, so that's probably about 8:30, 8:45, just with some little hints and tips. And so I started off this morning with just a little bit of exercise in my bedroom. Nothing complicated, really simple. So there's going to be lots of that I'm going to be sharing. But I did notice that I am looking just a wee bit puffy, and I think this facial massage is going to be great. And then after that, that's why I'm not wearing any makeup. But that will be rectified after the massage, because I'm then going to be joined by a great friend of mine, Beatrice Aden, who is an award-winning top journalist. You will have seen her writing for so many glossy magazines and the FT, and just, you know, she's just such a great person. She's been around the block like I have for a while now, knows a thing or two, and she messaged me after I did one of my makeup tutorials. And she said, oh, you know, we'll have to do some makeup together, or we'll have to do a makeover or something, some comment like that. So I said, yeah, great, come on then, B, let's do it together. So we're going to do the first kind of online joint mini makeover. So I'm looking forward to that. So that'll be kind of part 2. So we're split into 2 halves. So let's get going. I'm going to introduce you to my first guest, Katie Brindle, who is the founder of Hey You. We do have a 20% discount from Liz Loves with Hey You, so I'm really excited about that, because it's all about these amazing massages which I have seen and heard about, but never really, if I'm completely honest with you, got to grips with how they work. So I am so delighted to be joined by Katie. Katie trained as an opera singer, or was going to be an opera singer, and then a car accident, I think, changed her life and her course of direction. So it's going to be really interesting. I'm so looking forward to this chat. I've kicked the kids off the Wi-Fi, so hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm virtually sitting on top of my router here. Hi, Katie.
Hello. So nice to meet you.
Oh, very nice to meet you too. If we can't be in person, we can be online on IGTV, whiwhich is great.
Exactly. It's brilliant. And I have to say, this is a bit of a kind of schmaltzy moment for me, because you were one of my complete and utter icons. I've hung off your every word.
Oh.
Until when I read your first book, which was a long time ago.
Oh, bless you. Thank you. You don't look old enough to have read my first book. My first book was nearly
well, not
30.
to you to be my childhood icon, but anyway.
Was nearly 30 years ago. Now, just to explain to all those who are watching me new, as I can see, I've got lots of new people in our community. When I do an Instagram live, I can split the screen on Instagram. So those of you watching on Instagram will see the lovely Katie in the demo. Unfortunately, Facebook and YouTube, we don't yet have that technology. I'm sure there's, you know, somebody in Zuckerberg Towers or whatever who's working on it. But that means that you can hear Katie, but I will be Katie's face. And hopefully do the demo appropriately. So I'd love to hear a little bit about your background and your journey, because you've got such an interesting backstory.
Well, it's quite a useful one, I guess, as someone who's ended up sort of being a healer, I guess, which is sort of really where I come from. I was originally going to be an opera singer, or wanted to be an opera singer. Actually, in hindsight, I probably wasn't actually good enough to have made it at all. But anyway, I didn't know that at the time. I wanted to do it. And then had a car crash, and that really damaged my voice and basically put a kind of brake on my whole life.
Wow.
And I was in a lot of pain, like a lot of people find themselves. Then you go from pillar to post, you do Western medicine, and then that doesn't work, and then you try everything else under the sun, and then you end up sort of, if that doesn't solve the problem, you kind of live with it. You just get used to the problem, and then you don't even notice it's there anymore. It's just, my life is off track. And then about 6 years later, after I had the crash, I discovered, I was just walking down the Edgware High Street of all places and went into one of those TCM places where they said 10 minutes of massage.
Traditional Chinese medicine.
Yes,
yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen those.
High street places.
Yeah, I've seen them.
And I was in so much pain. My shoulders were throbbing. It was just, oh gosh. And I thought, someone has to just do something. I don't even care what it is. And I walked in, and it so happened that the Chinese doctor that was there was just really good. And he did gua sha, which is the technique we'll discuss today, but on the body.
Gua sha, which is this?
Yes, he happened to do that with a metal tool though, because it was on the body. The one you're holding is jade, which is for the face.
Yeah, it feels lovely.
And it solved the problem in 10 minutes.
No.
Yeah, and I was just in tears of frustration and excitement, all simultaneous, just everything all at once. And I just walked out of it thinking, that's it. This is what I want to do. This is my calling. How on earth does no one know anything about? How did I not know this? And that was the beginning of my career. I trained I did Chinese massage, then I did reflexology, then I studied acupuncture, and then about 8 years ago, focused in on self-care. I learned in my clinic that the people that were taking on board my self-care techniques were getting better so much more quickly than those that were just having acupuncture each week. Right. And I thought, well, hang on, that's what I want to talk about. And here we are.
How very fascinating. Well, I first became aware of you a few years ago, and in fact my lovely health and beauty editor on my magazine, this is actually last January's issue, and we featured a different product of yours, which are the bamboo sticks. So let's just have a very quick conversation about this, because this is all about tapping. And when I posted about my Instagram this morning about exercise, I put out a question on my feed saying, what do people do first thing in the morning? How do they start their day? And a number of people replied to say they're doing tapping. So what is this, and what do I do with it? It looks like a bamboo lightsaber.
Exactly. Can you feel the force? Well, I can. So tapping is a very, very easy massage technique that anyone can do. When you pick up the tapper, you'll notice it's very light. Yeah. It's about 160 grams, which means pretty much anyone can pick it up. It's also very long, which means, first of all, you can reach this area here. Okay, Katie's doing this. Which is hard to reach. Oh, yeah. And by simply tapping the body, you're invigorating the circulation. And in Chinese self-care, the cornerstone of health is the free flow of qi and blood around the body. And tapping is the easiest way for that to happen. You just tap, by tapping the body, you're allowing the energy and the blood circulation and the lymph to just start moving.
There's some great comments on Instagram. People are saying about how amazing tapping is. Do you have to do it in a certain direction? I mean, I know when I do body brushing, I start with the soles of my feet and I work up. Is that the same with tapping, or can you do it anywhere?
Well, I'm all for simplicity. So if you're new to this and you're thinking, I don't know, the key thing is to pick it up and just start whacking yourself, just to get the sense of what it's going to do. Then there's all sorts of ways of doing it. The way I suggest is that you start really more on the chest, because when you're tapping, what you're looking to do is moving oxygenated blood around the body and following the energetic flow. Because in Chinese medicine, qi is the commander of blood, and blood is the mother of qi. Whereas body brushing is more about lymphatics. Okay, so ours is slightly deeper. So you start on the chest, and then you go down the inside of the arms and up the outside. Okay. And if you're relatively fit and healthy, you can go nice and vigorously like this. If you're not well, you see, what's good about tapping is if you don't feel very well, let's say you've got, I don't know, long COVID and you're in bed right now, there's loads of people suffering. You can go very gently. We call that the grain of sand technique, where you just go very lightly.
Wow.
And very slowly.
Grain of sand.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's really connecting you with your body, which is quite an interesting thing, because I find I'm doing so much online and, with Zoom calls, and there's so much in my head at the moment. It just feels that I've kind of lost my way with my body, because everything is up here and I just need to kind of reconnect with how my body is feeling. And this is a great sensory thing, especially if you're on your own, if you can't hug people and you're not getting that contact on your body. This is kind of...
Absolutely, because I think this is the thing that when we go back to my backstory, is that I came in at this as a therapist. So I'm not a beautician, and I'm not a beauty expert. I'm a Chinese medicine practitioner. So my obsession is, I love a body. I love a body.
Right.
I love a sick body as well. So I like getting it well and working out what the problem is. But there are generic things that affect all of us, and right now, touch is so important. And the thing is, instruments like this, when because the best way to use your tapper is naked, preferably when you're dry after the shower, which I will not be doing. But if you can feel the bamboo, it's natural.
Okay, so put it on bare skin after a shower.
Brilliant for bare skin.
It feels really nice.
Yeah, it does.
Feels really nice.
In our medicine, it's the digestive system is all about touch. So it's a very good thing. Funny enough, you were saying at the beginning of the feed about putting on those, I call it the COVID-19, the 19 pounds that we all pile on every lockdown.
I'm about halfway there. I'm halfway to 19, yeah.
Well, this is a very useful way to prevent that, rather than us kind of going into willpowers and going, right, I'm going to stop eating carbs, sugar, alcohol, whatever it is.
Yeah.
The touch is... nourishes the digestive system, believe it or not. The spleen energy in Chinese medicine is about digestion, and the spleen is also responsible for our muscles and that sense on the skin. So if you're massaging the body, you're less likely to go and eat, because you're nurturing the body via...
how interesting.
Yes.
So your body's saying, step away from the fridge door. You can pick up this instead. I love that. Now, thank you so much for giving us 20% off everything on your website, which is really cool, until the 1st of February. So go and take a look after this. Run after this, because I know what happens. Everything sells out quickly. But we're super grateful, and I would love to send one of these. Actually, I've got a daughter at uni at the moment. And this would be a great thing, wouldn't it? So light and simple. And it looks like it's really well made, actually. It doesn't look as though it's going to fall apart any day soon.
No, it doesn't. I take a lot of pride in every aspect of what we do, because the thing is, my business is built on trust, probably the same as yours.
Same, totally.
Right. So the thing is, my heart and soul and learning has gone into everything that I talk about. And the thing is, I won't bring a product out unless I fully love what it is, absolutely think it from an environmental point of view, from a production point of view. Funny enough, the person I work with in China is a woman. I'm not being anti-men, but it's very much about females.
Great, that's what we do. We focus, on female founders, female founder-led brands, and it's the same. If we have a Liz Loves discount code, it's got to be because I genuinely love it. It's not Liz quite likes this. This is really, because like you, I kind of put my name out there. Now, I want to get on to this little beauty, because I have seen these around the place, for such a long time. And I've got a really confession to make here. I don't actually know how to use it properly. So now is the moment, because we've got one. You said this was jade, but you've got others, haven't you? There's another one here, which is such a pretty little bag and a box they come in. This is a beautiful one. This is really sort of clear. I don't know what this is. Is this quartz? Does it matter which colour you get? What do the colours mean?
Yes, there are differences, actually. There's 3 that we have. So the first thing perhaps when we start is just to explain, why. So we launched with the jade. Now, the jade is the one that I always suggest to start with, because this is the one that really brought gua sha into the zeitgeist, and it's won all the awards. It's the one that everyone went nuts about, because jade is, in Chinese medicine, Earth's gift to mankind. Not that Earth should be giving us a gift, frankly.
Yeah. What have we done to deserve that, hey?
Not a lot, but we're doing our best to sort it out. So the key thing about jade is it's deemed a healing stone. It balances the heat and the yin-yang of the body. Now, that's the fundamental axis of wake, sleep, activity, relaxation, day, night, hot, cold. And the thing that you'll notice with the jade when you pick it up is it's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Immediately cool to the touch.
Yeah,
now,
lovely.
when you then put the jade, say, under your eye, which is arguably the first thing to do, because in the morning when we use it, often our eyes are a bit sleepy.
I can feel that coolness. Is this going to depuff my eyes?
Yes, it does. And that's the thing. Now, then what starts to happen is, let's say you're having, for example, a menopausal flush, okay? Yeah. That you can just hold the jade on the cheek like this, and that coolness will start to alleviate the heat. But then what happens, this is the magic of jade and why I love it so much, that the heat, your body heat warms up the stone, and the stone then starts to emit far infrared rays back into the skin. That's how it works. That's why it's such a brilliant crystal to start with.
Wow, so what rays does it put back into the skin?
Far infrared rays. FIR. Far infrared rays. These are like the very, very subtle healing energies that basically start to heal the skin. So if you have acne, for example, which is quite common now, especially with older people, we get acne. A number of people in clinic that have said to me, I didn't get acne when I was a teenager and now I'm 48, and I've got spots.
Hormones going strange and people having maskne now because of wearing all the masks and covering up.
Yes. So this is really good for that. So before we've even done anything to do with gua sha, just the properties of the crystal alone. And the thing is that this crystal is designed at a certain thickness so that when one side starts to warm up, then you're basically doing the kind of hot-cold therapy on the body, which we know is so good for you.
Yes.
So you can turn it round.
Love
and then the other side's
still
got the cool temperature. And then the heat then starts to clear off the stone. So it's a very clever product. And then it starts to work also. The next thing people say when they've got used to the jade is they're like, oh, is it like one of those rollers? And I'm like, well, you can use the flat of the jade like a roller. So this is working on the lymphatics.
Okay,
but it doesn't squeak and fall apart because as the founder of this business, I'm committed to the fact that when you bought a product, you don't then need to buy another one. You've got it forever. If you look after it, you don't need to keep replenishing it. So it's not going to squeak and fall apart. Feels amazing. Now then you go to the rounded edge. Okay, so the rounded edge is arguably, I'd say, on the cheek, this bit here. And this is where, now you need oil on your skin or at least water in the shower. Okay, so I'm often using my jade.
You've got a bit of oil here. I'm going to try a little bit of oil here. What's in your lovely oil?
So the oil was created specifically to work with your body and with crystals. It's got lang lang, frankincense.
Lovely, that's what I can smell. Oh my goodness, I love frankincense. And lang lang. That's great. So I'm going to put a bit of that on.
So it's such a lovely sensation to be using the crystals with
oil. The smell is heavenly.
It's lovely, isn't it? So then you just get to work. You just press stroke the crystal and you're sweeping it over your skin. And what you're doing with this is that you're working on the energy and the circulation. And you're drawing that circulation.
I'm loving this so much. I'm feeling like I'm having a facial all to myself. I'm just kind of like transported to a different world. And the smell is heaven, that oil with it. So would you do this every morning? Is this kind of your wake-up ritual?
So what I do in the morning, as anyone that follows me will vouch for, and I'm often recording it, going, here I am looking at a pile of rubbish, so what happens? First of all, I use this crystal in the shower. That's the first thing. I have it by the shower because I'm all for simplicity. And the thing is, I love my oil. I use it every day. But when I'm trying to encourage women to adopt this as a practice, you've got to keep it so simple. So if I know I go, that door behind me, there's my shower. So I go in there every morning, wash on my face, hold the crystal over and under the eyes, and then sweep with the water on my skin. And that gives you that 1 minute practice.
How incredibly time efficient. This is talking my language. Have it in the shower while you're standing under the water, multitasking. Love a bit of multitasking.
Absolutely. And the thing is then, what will then happen is people like you will pick it up and go, oh my God, I love it. Now, I know someone like you will immediately go to an oil and start doing it. But I also know that many, many women out there just simply will forget. They'll buy it and then they go, I haven't used it yet. And you think, right, just just use it with water just to get the hang of it. Then what will happen is you'll see how good it is, and how your skin, even your skin, which is incredible, gets that lovely lifted, plumped sculpt. That's what's happening to your skin. Your skin's already amazing, but it's gone like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see it I've got my mirror here, and I can see it in my phones. I get quite a lot of tension here in my jaw because I'm a night grinder. I have to wear a bite guard at night, and just doing that, I can feel is really getting into those little tense spots. Is that something I should be doing?
Yes, and you can rotate it because of the thickness of this particular crystal. You very cleverly work through. You can massage into the area.
Oh wow! Oh my goodness!
And then you can turn it round this way, and you can massage into the neck like this.
Okay, so she's going down here.
Now, one of the other things to say about these crystals is a lot of people will say, "Yeah, but can't you use your fingers for that?" And this is a really interesting point. But the problem is when you use your fingers on the face is that your fingertips pick up the signal before your face does. So there's a confusion in your brain going, okay, am I my fingers or is it my face? Whereas when you pick up the crystal, your fingertips tell your brain, I'm holding a crystal. So the brain disengages from that piece of information. Now press the crystal on your skin. You're feeling it on your face. I'm really feeling it.
You're absolutely right. The difference between this and this is immense.
Right. And there's your home facial right now when we're all struggling, needing to be touched, needing to be cosseted, needing something other than red wine and nibbles, which is...
Nothing wrong with red wine and nibbles. We can have everything in balance. Before we go, tell me, how do we take care of it? Is it quite breakable? If you've got like a stone bathroom floor and you've dropped it?
So what I recommend to people is, now I've got a carpet on my bathroom floor, but basically always have some old towel to hand. And if you're doing this in front of the sink, put the towel in the sink so that if for whatever reason it slips out your hand, then the towel's there.
That's a really good idea. I'll be doing that.
Yeah, the little pouch keeps it protected, which means it can then sit in your makeup. Yeah, that will protect it. That pouch has been drop tested by me to an inch of its life. So if you drop it in its pouch on the floor, it'll be okay.
Then it's okay.
Brilliant. Because our intention as a brand is for you to keep this. I don't want you to have to keep coming back and buying more and more stuff,
And I have to say, a lot of people are very, very interested in this. So you would say as a starter for 10 would be the jade, the green, if people are brand new to this. And then would you work up? So I showed that lovely white quartz one. Is this something... This feels colder, actually.
Right. It's lighter. If you pick it up, it's lighter. The frequency is higher. So this is clear quartz. Now, clear quartz is called the master healer.
Isn't that pretty?
And the other thing to notice about these crystals is they're all handmade by artisans. So they're all unique. They're all little pieces of work that are not like any other. Now, clear quartz, I absolutely love. This is why there's only 3 tools in my range, and there only ever will be, okay? Because this clears the mental frequency. So you were saying earlier that you're up in your head.
Yeah, I need this.
Now,
when
you hold this crystal, can you feel how light it is?
Yeah.
It clears that kind of like kind of energy that sort of comes from all this mental frequency and looking at screens all day long. And it clears that stress out of the skin. So the gua sha is doing the same in terms of what it's doing with your blood and lymph, but the energetic frequency of the crystal is incredibly soothing.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And there's so many good comments coming up here. Somebody on Instagram has just said it's really good for sleep, to do this before sleep.
I like this crystal
very calm.
At night. It's very calming.
I don't actually want to stop, but I'm going to have to because I've got to go and put some makeup on now with my friend Beatrice.
That's okay. This is your starting point. So this is really, I call this the evening crystal. You can use it in the morning as well, but
morning and evening. Like that idea.
Yes.
Like that idea a lot. You honestly, Katie, you are going to be changing my morning routine. I have got my tapper. Can't wait to whiz all my clothes off and start tapping. So but I'm not going to do that live, funnily enough. And thank you for this.
Thank you so much.
We have until the 1st of February, I think midnight on the 1st of February, to take advantage of that massively generous discount. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's been so nice to chat. I'd love to do something else again because this has just been such an eye-opener, really.
Yeah, I'll introduce you to body combing next, which is if you want it, that's a new one. I'll leave you hanging with that. But Liz, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Have a lovely, lovely day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, wasn't that just so brilliant? So brilliant. I have to say, I feel really good. How's my puffiness? Is it looking better? I hope so. Now, do we have my lovely friend Beatrice B? I wonder if she's in the house because I am now ready to put some face on. I have to tell you, after all of that, it's always a little bit nerve-wracking to do stuff au naturel. But thank you. Everyone's saying that you can see the glow. I do genuinely feel it. I have to say, working that little bit here, particularly for my jaw, really good. Okay, so do we have here Beatrice Aiden? Yes, we do. This is going to be a bit of fun. So let's... I've got some new brands, actually, some new beauty brands to talk about that I've been sent. Hello? I can't hear you, darling. Why can't I hear you? Oh, right. B, I think I've got a lovely view of your ceiling. Hello? Can you turn your volume up? And where are you? Where are you beaming to us from?
Well, if you can hear me.
I can, but you're not very loud, so I'll see.
Okay, sorry.
It's okay. I've turned my volume up. How are you, darling? You look really well.
Thank you. And I spent the whole of last night practically massaging my face in preparation. You look great.
Thank you. I have got a very nice light. We say lighting is the key. Do you have a nice light for your live?
I borrowed down a short thing. I've gathered so far. I did feel a bit with the behind me. I look like I'm in prison. So maybe I should turn it down.
You're breaking up, which is sad because I want to be able to hear you.
Should we try and reconnect again?
We could try and reconnect, couldn't we? Okay, let's try that. So I will remove you and then I will re-add you, okay? Great. Let's remove Beatrice Aiden. Yeah, as I was saying, I've got lots of really interesting new beauty things that I've been sent, which I thought I would try out. So a couple of lines that my team have connected with and very cheekily asked for discounts, which we've got. So Studio 10, which you may know. This is a pro-aging brand. Love that. So it is for older skin, and we've got a 20% Liz Loves discount on them. So I'm going to talk about that. And also Delilah, which is another really interesting brand. This is a British brand. I know my beauty editor has written about it before in my magazine. Again, we've got a Liz Loves. It's really interesting. This is a lovely product, which I really wanted to try actually live here. It's called Pure Light. It's like a radiant glow. So yeah, they've got some really super interesting things and beautiful, beautiful packaging as well. So that's Delilah. So just to let you know, if you are watching, I can't link on Instagram, but we will put the links, the discount links and everything are all in my bio. Okay, so you'll find them there. Or on Facebook, obviously we can link, and Betty is on Facebook today. Hi, Betty. And she will actually put the links to the actual products on there. So if you want to watch perhaps on Instagram and then head over to Facebook if you want to see a bit more, then please do so. So, Beatrice, let us see. Hopefully, it's always such a nightmare, isn't it, technology? And funnily enough, I find that sometimes being in London is not good. Hi.
Hey, is that better?
I think it is.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm going to get a little bit closer to you. So I was just really bigging you up to my audience a little bit earlier because I've known you for such a long time and there's almost nobody that you haven't written for. You are so well respected in the the lifestyle, beauty, the kind of high-end world of writing. Isn't that right?
That's a big compliment. Thank you.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. And over the years, you've obviously been connected to a lot of beauty brands and, you know, interviewed a lot of designers and people like that. Who do you rate at the moment?
I'm into this new range, which is sponsored by Amy, which I think is an interesting brand, Irish, and it's new here. It's affordable.
What's it called?
It's called Sculpted by Amy.
Sculpted by Amy. Oh yeah, I've got one here. Yeah, I think you got them to send me something. This looks rather interesting, and it's Irish. You said.
Irish. It's Irish.
Ooh.
It's an all-round palette. It's, you know, it's got eyeshadow, it's got a nice little lip gloss as well.
Oh, look at that.
And
that does look nice.
Yeah, it's about £34, and it's really, really.
I love that. And that's got. Look at all those colours in there. That
really
is
lovely, isn't it?
That's really lovely, actually. And that says it's a highlight, matte eyeshadow, shimmer eyeshadow, blush, highlighter, bronzer, lip and cheek cream, all in one. Really nice.
And if you were able to go anywhere, that would be to take out, is it?
Just take it out, exactly. And then pretty packaging too. This is says complete cover-up, light plus. I'm always a sucker for packaging, I have to say. So this would be a concealer, yeah? I think I might need it again. Your sound's breaking up a little bit, so I'm going to do a bit more of the talking. I'm sorry about that.
Why don't you do and I'll follow?
Okay, I'll demo. So have you got anything on your face at the moment? Because I've just done a lovely facial massage.
I've got nothing.
Nothing on. You're very brave. Okay, so we need to start. I have got a little bit of the lovely facial oil. Wasn't that amazing, the Hey You massage? Do you know, I'm sure you know Katie Brindle because you know everybody. But I thought that was absolutely fascinating.
If anyone can hear me, said to you, Liz, I don't know what's going on. So all those bombs, that's me, but I don't know why.
Your sound is really not good, I'm afraid. So, what?
I'll follow.
Okay, all right. Let's do it. We're just going to go for it, okay? Because actually, Facebook can't see you anyway, so normally we can hear. Okay, so prepped face. So the first thing I do, obviously, is put a foundation on, and this is probably a super expensive one because you've arranged for me to receive this. It's by Perricone MD.
It is. I put the prices down actually, and it's not that expensive. It's £45.
Okay, so that is quite pricey, but I mean, good foundations do tend to be around that. I have to say that feels very nice. That texture. And Perricone, he was the doctor that was telling us to eat a tin of sardines every day. Isn't that right?
Salmon, but yes.
Salmon, yeah, sorry. Tin salmon every day. And actually, he was really onto something because that is all about the omega-3s and you know, being really good for the skin. And he then went on and launched skincare and obviously has gone into makeup. That does feel very nice, I have to say. The other concealer, because I have to use concealer under my eyes, because trust me, if I'm not sat in front of a light, then the shadows are so dark. Do you know It Cosmetics, the Bye Bye Under Eye?
I haven't got that, but it's great.
Okay, do you have a different concealer? I'm going to use this one. Do you have a concealer that you can use? Which one have you got?
5, so yeah.
Okay, which one are you using? Who?
Benefit.
Oh, Benefit. Love. Nice Benefit. Yep, that looks good. So I always dot it right close to my nose to start with, up here, because this is the darkest little bit, isn't it? And then...
Yeah.
what's happening with you, Bea, during lockdown in London? Are you bothering to put any makeup on normally or not?
For the first time, I'm playing with makeup in a long time.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And I'm in the house every day.
But we can change our look, can't we? And actually, if it doesn't work or we make a mistake, or I was playing around doing a little film, doing a smoky eye, and the first few times I just looked like some ridiculous panda, and it actually kind of didn't matter if I went off and, made my supper looking like that, because nobody else was going to see me.
No.
Apart from frightening the children.
And it's also, frankly, I have a little bit more time on my hands than I usually do.
Yeah.
Goddaughter, sort of like, and then I try and go orange. It's conjunctivitis, it's not good, but it's fun.
It is fun. It is fun. The other thing that I really like actually with makeup is using a liquid or a cream blush, because I find as I get older, my skin is drier than it used to be. I love Beauty Pie. Have you got Beauty Pie things?
I never use that. I always use powder, and I maybe need to actually show me what to do.
Okay, so do you have a cream blush or not?
Oh, I've got about 5, yeah.
Okay, so this one I really like. It's a raspberry colour, and it is called, it's called French Raspberry. There you go. And I just put a little bit on my ring finger. And then I smile at myself in the mirror.
Yeah.
To identify the little cheek apples. And then it just goes really like a clown to start with, just 2 little dots. And then just blend it a little bit. And sometimes that's all I'll do, because it just gives you that flush of colour that you've been out for a nice healthy bracing walk, even if you've been sat inside eating Doritos. Not that I would ever do such a thing, obviously.
Or Pringles.
Pringles. No, my children eat Pringles. I have a Pringle ban on the house, I'm afraid. In fact, they copy me. They go, Pringles, because that's what I'll say, usually in that tone of voice, if I see them with them. Anyway, what have you got there? Have you got this? Are you holding up the Studio 10?
Studio 10. And this is...
This looks really good.
Glow Collection. Go see what they did there.
Glowplexion. Do like a nice play on words. Plumping blush. That looks good. Plumping blush. So I'm going to pop a little bit on my hand, actually, so that you can see it first, because I'm a little bit nervous of something new. Oh, that does look really nice, that texture. Gosh, how well it spreads. Look at that. It's just spreading everywhere. So you're going to put that over the top. I actually also like to layer my blushes. I find they look more natural, because our cheek and our skin is never just one colour. So I'm going to make sure I don't use too much. Oops, there we go. So let's try that over the top. Oh, lovely glow.
That's really lovely glow, isn't it?
Very nice glow. And actually, that's the kind of shade I would think that would adapt for a lot of skin tones. I know they do quite a wide range, don't they? Studio 10, they cover a lot of shades of skin, dark to light. Oh, that is nice. And then you can build it up. Always better to put more on.
It is clever, because it is made for skin that needs a bit more moisture.
Yeah, made for older skin. So this,
right.
I will put links up, but this is the Studio 10 Plumping Blush. And does it come in other colours, do you think? Because this doesn't have a colour on it. Maybe it's just the one shade.
I was thinking that, because I can't... It does. So maybe it is for,
Maybe it's just for everybody.
Yeah, nice.
Lovely. Okay, so then a little bit of powder. Oh, this is a brand that I love. I remember going to meet the founder of Stila, the makeup artist, over in LA. I can't remember her name. Isn't that awful?
She is called... Wasn't she the one who... Gillian Dempsey? Did she come... Gillian Dempsey?
Is it Gillian Dempsey? It could be. I mean, I remember when she first started Stila, and she had all these little compacts, and I used to have a cream blush. I think they've discontinued it now, but this is really nice. This is a tinted moisturising skin balm.
It is like a slight foundation. I gave it a little go, but try it.
I've got a little bit of redness on my chin, so I'm going to use that as a bit of extra cover up.
I have.
Feels really nice.
The snow makes it worse, that's for sure.
Snow is not good. Have you had snow where you are in central London? You have. That's amazing. I don't know when the last time it snowed in central London.
It snowed 2 years ago, and I was carrying 2 bags, and I fell on my butt, and I did my coccyx.
No.
I remember it quite well.
Oh gosh, you poor thing. Are you still doing work with? Is it Glassdoor, the homeless charity?
Yeah, I am.
Because that must be
on Monday.
It's just the hardest thing at the moment.
We're taking it in turns with the rota because we can't have 3 chefs in the kitchen at the same time. So, and also a lot of it's a sort of obviously a complex situation with what's happening with homeless people. But then people, I don't know with the towns near you, but in London there are a lot of new faces near where I live, which is sort of Paddington way.
Right.
So it's going to be a growing problem, but obviously hospitality, especially, just for example, not especially, it's a lot of people who come from abroad, and they're not. Some are eligible for furlough, and some aren't. You know, if you're a kitchen porter, might be. I don't know, but it's a very, very distressing situation. And when I was doing Under One Sky, the first lockdown, we served, which is another homeless charity, but it's reach out on the streets. But that was before the rains came. We served 37,000 meals.
37,000 meals, wow.
I know. I mean, it was just unbelievable how people came together. And it started with a Zoom call of 6 of us. And then there were over 500 volunteers. And there's a guy, Mikkel, who organised everyone on WhatsApp. And it was extraordinary.
What's the organisation called? What?
Under One Sky.
Under One Sky. Brilliant. We'll try and find a link to that if anybody wants to help out. Back to less important things like makeup. Do you know Delilah? It's all light and shade, isn't it, on this little broadcast? So Delilah, they were based, I think, in the south of England. Lovely compacts, but their powders, this is the compact brightening powder. It's called Pure Light. Pure Light. It's a really lovely compact. Do you remember, Bea, when we used back in the day, when we used to go on those really glamorous press trips to Paris with Chanel and people, and they had huge budgets, and they would, fly us all over the place and take us out to the swankiest places. And when they were talking about their compacts and how they developed all their colours, it was always huge attention to this click and how it closes and how a compact feels in your hand. And it's so true, isn't it? You get a real confidence if you have a nice solid click from a compact. So
they called it Clarence, remember?
They called it what?
Clarence Click, I seem to remember.
The Clarence Click. Yeah, Clarence, that's another great brand too. So this is interesting. This is compact matte bronzer from Delilah. It's in the Sunset range, and this is their light medium colour. And I'm really pleased to see this because Kerry September, my lovely makeup artist friend, who would always make me up for magazines and things, except that obviously we're not doing any of that at the moment. She used to use a colour from, I think it was the MAC range, very similar to this, which they then discontinued. So it was a really, a great sadness to lose that colour. But she would use a bit of kind of sculpting here, just with that slightly darker matte colour, or kind of just under the chin, just to sort of shape the face. Because it's not dark like a bronzer. Bronzers, I think, can be a bit scary, don't you think?
I do like bronzer, and I get one.
Tell me about your favourite bronzer, because I'd like to find one I really like. Who is that by?
It's not. It's the sculpted one, and I think it's similar to your colour. I can't quite see, but it's
So it's a Delilah one again, is it?
It's not, that. This is Sculpted by Amy.
Oh, Sculpted by Amy. Oh, I'm so sorry. So I'm going to take this one. I'm going to use this. It's really nice. Sculpted by Amy. So I've got my palette.
It's brilliant. And it's also nice to discover a brand you never heard.
It is nice to discover, absolutely. And you can obviously find all these online. So I'm going to pop a little bit under there. Actually, I'm going to be taking some pictures later on today, so it's quite good to get a bit of proper face on. What shall we do now? Should we got some eyes to play with? This is Studio 10 again. What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's a lip gloss. Maybe that's a brownie lip gloss. What shall I use for my eyes? Oh no, that's a face one as well.
I do have a Marc Jacobs, and what do you have eyes-wise?
I'm just having a look. I've got a lip wardrobe. That's not very good, is it? Again, that's from Delilah. Look at this. This is a rather lovely thing. A beautiful bit of packaging that is. And I've got, what is this? I'm going to have to do a whole thing on. A brow shape. Defining brow gel. Do you bother with your brows? Oh, look, weeny little brush. Tiny little thing.
I do when I can be, but at the moment I'm trying to, as they go out, you know.
Oh, I like
well,
this.
What about this?
This is giving me a bit of definition. So who've you got that? Does it have shimmer in the bronzer or is it matte? It seems matte, I think. The sculpted bronzer is matte. I'm liking this a lot. I'm usually dyeing my eyebrows, so that actually stops me having to do that. I do like that.
You do that on your own, as in clearly you do.
I do. I use, this is a little secret, okay, which I'll just tell you. I use Moustache Dye. So you can get, it's much cheaper than eyebrow dye, and it's obviously designed for your face, so it's safe. And yeah, it lasts for ages. So I use dark brown Moustache Dye. The colour, I'm being asked what colour this brow gel is. It says it is, I think it says Sable. 1902 Sable. Yeah, really good. Like that. Now, I have got somewhere, I do have some eyes somewhere. Where is this? Oh, this is a sculpted. Oh, that's more lovely face things. I tell you what, I shall use, what is this one? No, oh my goodness, this looks fierce. What is that? This is from Studio 10. Oh, clever. It's a little double-ended pencil. Brow Lift Perfecting Liner. I need to work out what that is. It's all about brows, isn't it? So little tiny bit of fill-in. Extend it. I always like extending. Do you extend your eyebrow?
I don't know how to.
I try and pull it out like this. So you just, I mean, obviously not too much, otherwise it can look a bit clowny. Little teeny movements, like you're painting on little hairs, little flicky things, and then you can just feather it out, and it just sort of gives you that a bit more of a frame. Yeah.
Doesn't it? Well, that's
just that tiny thing.
Eyebrows, darling.
Well, as we get older, as we know, we go grey, unfortunately, grey eyebrows. And I just find that if I dye them, or, put a coloured gel like the Delilah one through them, it just makes them appear thicker and denser, and it just instantly makes your eyes brighter and more youthful, I think. I think it's I think
so as well.
A really good little tip. And the other thing that I like is to use a smudgy eye crayon. Have you got anything for your eyes? I'm just going to use... What have you got that you would use on your eyes normally?
What I was using the pen was an size brow pencil. Mm-hmm. I cannot, of course, see the colour. A light brown. And it's about fibre. They're all very good values that value those products.
Which ones? The Elf?
Very good value.
Yeah, I like that too. I've got some Elf ones. If you want to check them out, you can check them out online. I've got a load of things here actually, but that's it. There's a very nice, it's called Wow Brow, Elf, ELF. Yeah, some good bits. And then for what I also like for eyes is, this is a Beauty Pie, it's crayon, and it's kind of like a smudgy stick. So you literally just have to put it over, you know, a tiny bit like that, and then you just sort of smudge it.
What colour is it?
This one is, what does it say it is? Black Matter.
Good, isn't it?
It is, it's very good. Because it's just a little bit of something. You know, it just instantly lifts your eye with a little bit of something. What are you using on your eyes?
Got this beautiful, I have to say, is Marc Jacobs act, which has been much loved, as you can see.
Marc Jacobs is
sort of,
it's a great line. Oh my goodness.
And there's a sort of creamish one which has been completely overused, and I use that with a bit of brown. Just that brown in the middle. Sorry, I know I'm not
like a kind of minky brown colour. Just, yeah, classic brown. I mean, I find that, you know, less is more, and I know you will have experienced this too, over the years, just seeing how textures have improved and technology in cosmetics and beauty. It just makes things so much more wearable. You know, the things don't smudge anymore, they don't crease, they don't cake, they move with your skin. You know, all these things that we've been using are quite creamy, they're quite soft, they're quite forgiving, there's no harsh lines. And they stay on. That's the great thing. I haven't got to do endless touch-ups.
True. This is a Pat McGrath black eyeliner.
Pat McGrath. How cool is Pat McGrath? Have you interviewed her?
She was awarded a damehood
wasn't she? Yes. Dame Pat McGrath.
This is fantastic. The only thing about it is it doesn't come off.
Well, that's quite good if it doesn't come off.
Great. So you have to. It's great. So I'm just a bit nervous about trying it and then messing it up live with you to the.
It's all right. There's no one watching. That looks really good. So that is an eye pencil, like an eyeliner pencil that Bee's just used over here, and it doesn't come off. It doesn't smudge. That is good.
Well, no, I mean normally I get eye gross things. You know, the double. Eyes are quite big, but also they, you know, and normally I get the double eye thing, and that's when you put it on and you're like, okay.
Yeah, you put it on twice.
And you're sort of blah blah blah, and this one just put it on, it's gone. It's there.
Because what I'm finding, I don't know about you, but obviously with all this mask wearing, you know, having a lot of foundation on or blush or whatever is pointless because that's all going to come off. Lipstick, forget it, because that's under a mask and that's going to rub off. So it kind of becomes more about the eyes, doesn't it? It is actually more of the focus of your eyebrows, and having perhaps going for a slightly darker, smudgier colour than you would otherwise do, because that's what we've got on show to express ourselves makeup wise. And lots of lashes, got to have lots of lashes. Now, finding the perfect lash.
I've got.
As what? What have you got there?
I have one I love, which is it's Rimmel. It's Scandal Eyes.
Oh, Scandal
Reloaded.
Eyes. Reloaded. Okay.
You've got that one. I've got that.
Okay, so you're going to use that.
And then on one eye, if you agree.
On one eye, okay.
The other one, Earle one, which is called Mad Eyes. And how can you resist?
Mad Eye,
eyes,
okay,
right?
Mad Eyes. All right, that's an idea to to do a test on one eye and of one and one in the other, because I do find that sometimes mascara smudges on me, so I'm really careful about. I've used the same Clinique mascara for, I don't know, 20 years maybe. All right, so here goes then. So I have got two to try, two new ones. Never tried these before. Sensai, which is an expensive Japanese brand, has great reviews, Sensai. And then the Delilah, British brand, British counterpart. This is Lash Wars, okay, going to go on here. So, good, doesn't smell.
Like you said, lashes of it.
Lashings of it. So this is the Delilah one. It goes on really nicely, and I like the brush. Very nice. And you have to kind of joggle. Do you joggle with your mascara wand?
Oh, this smells delicious.
Does it? Which one is that smells good?
It smells so good.
The Guerlain one. Guerlain always have great smells. Everything. I know their compact powders and things smell of violets. I love them. Okay, so that is... That's true. Yeah, when you come from a fragrance background, then your products are bound to smell good, aren't they? So yeah, Delilah, that looks great. Very nice. Sensai. Oh, this is an interesting brush. Look at that. That's got lots of little teeny fibres and things. That is quite interesting.
Yeah.
That doesn't really smell of anything at all, which is quite nice, using it around the eyes.
That is true.
That goes on well. But the test will be for me in a few hours' time, if I leave it, to see whether anything is smudged under here. I might take a picture actually in a couple of hours' time and pop it on my stories so we can see, has the Delilah smudged, has the Sensai smudged. That goes on. Yeah, they both perform really well, I would say. How's your Maybelline doing versus the Guerlain?
Very good at separating.
Mm-hmm.
I just put some in my eye, which is so good.
Don't put it in the eye, honey.
Oh, I know, it wasn't too great. Excuse me a moment.
They look, the effects, I would say the effect is similar. Maybe a tad darker and thicker, maybe the Sensai one actually. Pop a little bit more on. Maybe I'll go back and pop a little bit more of the Delilah one. Because the other thing that I often do to stop that panda eye smudging is when I've done my makeup, is I put a little bit of powder under my eyes. Just a tiny, tiny bit. I use like a special brush that only I use for that, so it doesn't kind of get any makeup colour on it, because you don't want to put any dark colour under your eye, obviously. But just running a little bit of translucent powder under the eye sets it. So I'm going to use just a little bit from there. And that should hopefully take away any kind of natural oils in the skin that makes your mascara dribble down your face. I think we're looking a ton better, I have to say. Last but not least, we need to finish with lips. Are you going to go for a bright lip? I'm not sure I am.
Okay, another Guerlain favourite. I'll just show you this. It's, if you were ever going to go to a restaurant ever again, it's this, and it has a wing mirror in it.
I wish you could see that Instagram. You'll have to look at it online. It's like a little compact lipstick. So smart. You take the lipstick out and then it unfolds into a mirror.
You're pretending you're in like a restaurant in New York, and it's like, oh, I am anyway.
That is lovely. What colour is that? It's like a peachy corally colour.
Corally colour. Of course, I actually tried to look up the colour. I will find out and let you know. One of my favourites. It's very cheering.
Yeah. Lipstick is very uplifting. I remember, and it may even have been an interview that you did with Leonard Lauder years ago, and he talked about the lipstick index. And I think maybe you wrote about it in the FT, you know, saying that when times are hard and people are depressed, actually sales of lipstick go up.
True. 9/11, that happened. But now, it's doing really, really well.
Skincare.
Wearing so much makeup, apart from me and you right now, but all.
Yeah, we're going to revive the makeup economy, clearly, after our makeover. My lovely, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I'm sorry the sound has been so rubbish, but let's do it again when we can get our sound back, because I'd love to pick your brains on so many other things, and it's just so much fun to have a play and make up with a mate. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Liz. Thanks for having me.
Have a lovely day. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, apologies for the poor sound. Yeah, Sarah saying there, the trouble is you can't test colours at the moment. I think that's so true, isn't it? You know, we have to buy a lot online, or even if you go into a shop, then, you know, you're not allowed to use testers or try them out. So I think sticking to fairly neutral things. I was quite interested to try this one, the Studio 10. I thought that actually worked really well. It's called the Plumping Blush Glow Plexion, and if you can see, it's just given me that kind of peachy glow, and you get 20% off at the moment with Liz Loves. So there you go. And I'm just going to try this. This is also Studio 10. I thought that looked like quite a pretty colour. Oh, look at this. I don't know why I always smell everything, but maybe it's just a habit. Oh, yes. Look at that. That is nice. Maybe I could be your testers. Yeah, so because you can't try stuff, maybe I'll just try different colours and you can have a look and zoom in close, not too close, see whether you like the look of it. Oh, that feels nice too. Feels kind of creamy. And it feels as if it's going to stay. I mean, one of the things about lip glosses is they don't stay, do they? So you kind of think, well, it's very pretty, but what's the point? Because it's not going to be here in 10 minutes' time. That is nice. Oh, I think I might have discovered a new favourite. How exciting. I love all these new things. So, yes, well, what a great boudoir beauty day this has been. And honestly, I feel revived. I feel like a new woman. What shade was the concealer, please? Now, which one was I using? I use Bye Bye Under Eye, which is if you have a lot of concealment, this is the one to go for. And this colour here is called Light Sand. I bought this ages ago. I mean, I must have had this in my makeup bag for about 18 months. So it's really good. Thank you for all the nice comments. Yeah, well, what I'm going to do is, because I've got lots of new things and interesting things here, which I don't want to go to waste, I'm going to pop them all in a special box. I'm going to make some notes, and I will maybe post some little special makeup separate things, so that just to talk you through some new products. If you'd like that, let me know, because I don't normally do kind of beauty things, but I just think actually it's such an easy way to give us a bit of a lift, isn't it? And a bit of a cheer up. And if we can find some new fun things along the way, and, you know, yes, some things are a bit pricey, but others aren't. There are some real good budget brands out there as well. I love the way that Bea was using Maybelline and Rimmel, and you've got ELF here, which is very inexpensive. So yeah, there's lots that we can talk about. And not forgetting Beauty Pie. The lovely Marcia Kilgore and her amazing Beauty Pie. So this is probably the most inexpensive of all, frankly, because she provides everything at cost price. So it's really top quality stuff. Love this. This was the blusher I was using. It's called, just to remind you, French Raspberry. And if you're not yet a member of Beauty Pie, that's what you need to do. So you can use Liz Loves to get a 3 months membership. You take out 3 months membership. It's really cheap. You pay like £5 a month or £10 a month, depending on which package you want. And then you can buy everything at cost price. So it's a really, really good deal. I know lots of you are fans of Beauty Pie. But yeah, I know, Betty, you'll pop a link on Facebook, but you don't really need it. Just go to Beauty Pie. Liz Loves, all in capitals. That gets you your free month. And then everything, the savings are amazing. So yeah, it doesn't have to cost a fortune. Anyway, talking about other savings, it was lovely to chat to Katie Brindle, the founder of Hey You. That oil, amazing. Love the smell. I'm going to be absolutely keeping this in my bathroom, probably in the shower, like Katie suggested. And I was really thrilled to see that we had, where have I got it here, already written in the magazine, just to show you that we are always forward thinking. This was last year when we were writing about the tapping. Those were her lovely tapping things. And she has given us 20% off everything, but that's just until the 1st of Feb. So if you want that, you've got to have to be quite quick. Just to say, this, we featured the tapping in the Jan-Feb issue of Earle Wellbeing magazine last year. It's a really good edition. If you are a subscriber and you've got your copy sat on your bookshelf, perhaps, do take a look at it, because there are lots and lots of seasonal things that we could be doing right now. Lots of exercises. I'm talking about keto particularly in this issue, which is a really, I think, really interesting way to help lose a few lockdown pounds by going high carb. There's also some really interesting home tests that you can do. So the reason I'm mentioning in this, because if you don't have it, just to remind you, if you have got it on your shelf somewhere, do dust it off and take a look at it. If you have not yet subscribed, so this is the current Jan-Feb issue, me with my little friend Basil, Botanical Baz, then we have got some of these left from last year. So what we're doing is we're popping an extra one in free, so you get 2 here. So lots of lovely reading here for the next few weeks, particularly at this time of year. So there's always a good deal on subscribing. So you always get your 6 issues for the price of 5. So you still get that. So you're actually getting another issue, aren't you, really? You're getting 7 issues. And you get free UK P&P. And while stocks last, you get this edition as well that will come with it. Now, that all comes from Warners, who are our subscription service. Thank you very much, Betty. You'll put details on Facebook. You'll find details, obviously, on the Earle Wellbeing website or on the link tree in my Instagram. So any queries or questions, they are very good, Warners. So any issues with deliveries or anything like that, do please email them. There's a phone number. You can actually talk to a real person in the UK, and they are very swift at resolving things. And I know some people get delayed because their local post office isn't perhaps working as quickly as it might be because of the current situation. But hopefully, grab this while you can, while we still have both of these available, because we've only obviously got a limited number, but we did find some left from last year in the back of the cupboard. So we've given them to Warners, and they will send them out if you are taking out a new subscription on direct debit, which is the cheapest and easiest way to do it. So a couple of very quick notices. I'm sorry, today has gone on and on and on, hasn't it? But it's been a fun one. I hope you agree it's been a fun one. And actually, at the moment, it's quite nice just to have a bit of a chit-chat, isn't it? Just to say, talking about the Life Codex genetic testing. Yeah, really fascinating. If you want to do that, you can save quite a bit of money by using the Liz Loves code. Yeah, so Anna Louise, actually, you have a comment on YouTube. So I hope you're watching on YouTube, saying if the genetic tests were adopted by the NHS, vast amounts of money would be saved on drugs and inpatient admissions. It can make a real difference to quality of life. Absolutely. I think it can be an absolute game changer. I know many of you heard my younger daughter, Brella, talking about the difference it made to her life, taking high-strength vitamin D because she was found to be genetically not able to process it as well as others. Therefore, she needs a much higher dose. And it has really helped with anxiety and sleep and more. Wasn't that fun, by the way, to have Brella here with her little blue hat on? I'll try and patch her in again if I can, because that did seem to work really well. Just to say, Celia on Instagram, thank you for the lovely positive Monday morning motivational kick. That was in relation to my 5 minutes that I put up there. So she said that's what I personally needed today. And just a quickie here. Now, this was a message sent to me on Instagram from Nicole Baker. So, Nicole, this is actually for your mum. It's a mum's birthday shout out. Your mum is 60 this week. And she said she would love it if you could say happy 60th birthday, Catherine. So if you're watching, Catherine and Nicole, happy 60th birthday, a lockdown birthday. I hope you are having as good a time as you possibly can. She says she's a huge fan of yours and watches your social media podcast every day. So much so that my dad has listened to all your lockdowns. That's good, educating the guys as well, and signed her up for your magazine. I know that it would make her day if you could say hi. Great pleasure. Happy birthday. And thank you for all your support. Lovely to be with you. Big hearts. Sorry to have to stop the chat. I can see everybody is chit-chatting online. Don't forget that you can hop over to Facebook if you want to see the links to the things I've actually talked about, a lot of the particular products as well. I know that Betty was very swift in actually popping the links on. But I'll be back with you live on Wednesday. So much going on this week. It's going to be a really good one. I've got a new video going up onto YouTube tomorrow, so do head over to the Earle Wellbeing YouTube channel if you would like to watch that, and join me on Instagram if you don't already tomorrow morning for day 2 of my Wellbeing My 5 Minutes. I'm going to be back on Instagram a little bit later on today, answering some questions and putting a few more of your comments up for people who've commented on my feed this morning. So thank you. Really nice to have your company. I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.